Welcome everyone. Let's study a new lesson today, that is life process in living organism, and this is part 2 lesson, that is lesson number 3 of class 10th SSC. Alright, so let's begin a lesson. Okay, so student, before starting actual concept, let's recall some information. So first question is, which are the important life process in living organisms? So let's see. So here it is a chart of different life process. So the different organs in our body and organ system perform different life process with a complete coordination. Okay, so here I have mentioned few types of life process in living organism, that is reproduction, movement, transportation of a mineral, transportation of a blood and different material, respiration, and respiration produces energy in our body, nutrition, growth, excretion, control. So these are the different life process in living organisms. Okay, now next question is, which life process are essential for production of energy required by body? So in our previous slide we have seen different life process of living organism, but the life processes which are essential for production of energy which is required by the body are nutrition and respiration. Okay, so these two processes perform or produces energy which is required by our body. So in previous lesson, that is lesson number 2 of this science 2, we have seen how the energy produces in our body by the process of respiration, and we have seen the reaction of respiration in which the molecules of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, produces, and which gives energy for to perform different functions, that is internal also and external. Okay, now next is, which are the main types of a cell division and what are their differences? So student, first of all, cell division, in which one parent cell divides and it produces two new cells, or we can say two daughter cells. Okay, and first type of cell division is a mitosis, and next is a meiosis, and we have seen mitosis takes place in stem cells as well as somatic cells or body cells, and meiosis takes place in germ cells, and it produces germ cells, that is sperms in male and ovum or egg cells in a female. Okay, so in mitosis, the chromosome number remains the same and two daughter cells are obtained from one cell. So in the mitotic division, when the cell divides, so the chromosome number, that is 46 chromosome or 23 pairs of a chromosomes are transferred from parent cell to daughter cells. Okay, so that is why the cell obtained by the mitosis, these are the two identical daughter cells. Why? Because the total 46 number of chromosomes are copied to the daughter cells. That is why here two identical daughter cells are formed. And whereas in meiosis, chromosome number is reduced to half and four daughter cells are obtained from one cell. So here you can observe, in meiosis one cell divides into two cells, and that is called as a meiosis 1, and in meiosis 2 the two cells are formed. They will undergo the meiosis 2 and it will form four daughter cells. Okay, so four haploid daughter cell. Why it is called as a haploid daughter cell? Because here chromosome number are reduced to half, that is 46 number of chromosomes are reduced to 23 number of a chromosome, and that is why meiosis is also known as a reductional cell division. Okay, so these are the four sex cells. Sex cells means sperm in male and ovum or egg in female. So these are the cell division, meiosis and mitosis, and these are the differences, basic differences between these two type of a cell division. Okay, now next is what is the role of a chromosome in cell division? So let's see. So student, the nucleus of the cell, it contains chromosome, and chromosome is made up of a genetic material, that is DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, so as a genetic material passes from parents to child, the chromosomes are responsible for containing the instruction that makes the offspring unique while still carrying traits from their parents. Traits means characteristic, different character. We know that different characteristics characteristics are passage from parents to their offspring or to their progeny or to their new generation or children. Okay, so chromosome is responsible for passing the characteristic from one generation, or we can say from parents to their offspring. Okay, now student, we have studied various life process like respiration, excretion, nutrition, movement and sensitivity. Okay, so besides these life process, one more life process occurs in living organism, that is called as a reproduction, and this is essential life process of living organism. And however, reproduction does not help the organism to remain alive, but it helps to maintain the continuity of the species of that organism. That means if the species are if the new species are formed from the older species or older organism, then only it will remain alive na. So this is very important, essential life process. If the continuity of the species takes place, then only all the different life process like nutrition, respiration, movement, growth will takes place in an organism. So this is a essential life process of living organisms. And in the absence of reproduction, the species will not be able to exist for a long time and may soon get extinct. That means if the reproduction will not take place, if the new generation if the new generation will not continue, so it will get exist very soon. That is why it is essential life process of living organisms. Okay, now student, here observe the picture and tell the life process which you identify. So here four different life process are given. So let's see one by one. So in A part, this is the vegetative propagation. Okay, so what is the vegetative propagation? It is a type of a asexual reproduction. And B part, it is a type of a sexual reproduction in which you can observe the picture. So this is a life process. Here it is a sexual reproduction. Now in C part, it is a seed germination, in which you can observe the upper part, that is a plumule, will push out from the soil and it becomes the shoot system, and the lower part, it will get into the soil and it become the proper root system. So this is a seed germination. And fourth part, it is a binary fission, and in which you can observe the division of the parent cell takes place, and the genetic material is also transferred from parent to new daughter cells. So these are the different life process of different organisms. Okay, now again let's answer few questions. So first is, what do you mean by maintenance of species? So the process of reproduction helps to increase the number of organisms of a species, by which the species can prevent itself from being extinct. That means if the reproduction will take place, then only the species will continue their population and they will be alive. Okay, so it can prevent reproduction can prevent itself from being extinct in any of the living organisms, and this is important to maintain ecological diversity in the environment and to balance the environment. So different plant species and different animal species are there. So to maintain their continuity or to maintain their species, reproduction is a very essential process. Okay, now next question is whether the new organism is genetically exactly similar to earlier one that has produced it. So the new organism which is producing from the older organism, is it similar? No, it is not similar. Why? So in case of asexual reproduction, where only one parent involved, the new organism formed is genetically identical to its parent. So asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved in the reproduction. So the new organism which is formed, it is genetically identical to its parent one. And next is the sexual reproduction, in which the genetic constitution of offspring is different from their parents and due to the recombination of genes from both the parents. So here you can hear this homologous pair, recombinant chromatids, crossing over, all this process you will get in my lesson, that is the life process in living organism part 1. So I will give the link in the description box, so just go through it, you will understand clearly about all this process. process. Okay, so student, here this is in sexual reproduction, the recombinant or crossing over of the homologous chromosome will takes place, and while the crossing over, the genetic material gets exchanged and the recombinant chromatids will form. So that is why in sexual reproduction, the organism which is the new organism, it is not identical to its parents one. Okay. Alright, now next question, what determines whether the two organisms of a species will be exactly similar or not? Okay, so student, here cell is there, and inside the cell we have nucleus, and nucleus contain chromosome, and chromosome is made up of a DNA. So DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid played the major role in determining the similarity. Then comes the environmental factors that impacts on the behavior of an organism. Alright, so next question, what is the relationship between the cell division and formation of new organism of same species by earlier existing organism? So in case of asexual reproduction, the parent cell divides to form two similar daughter cells, and the two daughter cells are exactly similar to the parent one, and this occurs by the type of a cell division called by mitosis. So we have seen in mitotic cell division, the chromosome numbers are same as that of the parent one. Okay, that if the parent contain 46 chromosome, and the daughter cell also contain 46 chromosomes, so this is a same one. And in case of a sexual reproduction, gametes are formed by the type of a cell division called as a meiosis. So meiosis is a process in which the four daughter cells or four germ cells are formed, which are, and the chromosome numbers are halved in case of the daughter cells, and these gametes fuse to form a new organisms. Alright, now let's see reproduction. So student, formation of a new organism of same species by earlier existing organism is called as reproduction, and reproduction is one of the various important characters of living organism, and it is also one of the various reasons responsible for evolution of each species. So for the evolution of the species, reproduction is a very important process, because by the process of reproduction only the continuity of the species or continuity of the population generation will takes place. So if the continuity will happen, then only evolution will takes place. So there is a relation between evolution and reproduction. And in living organism, okay, so in living organism, reproduction occurs mainly by the two methods or two types. So first is the asexual reproduction, and next one is sexual reproduction. So student, in case of a asexual reproduction, you can observe the parent cell divides, and cell division will take place, and two new daughter cells are formed, and these two new daughter cells are exactly similar to the parent cell. And in sexual reproduction, only one parent involved, and the process of formation of a new organism by an organism of same species without involvement of gametes. So in asexual reproduction, gametes are not involved, it is called as a asexual reproduction. And in case of a sexual reproduction, so student, this is a sexual reproduction occurs when the sperm from the male parent fertilizes an egg from the female parent, producing an offspring that is genetically different from both the parents. So here two parents are involved. So the egg cells of female fuses with the sperm cells of the male, and it fertilizes the sperm fertilizes egg cell to form a zygote, which contain a 46 chromosome from each of the parent, and then this zygotes will then fertilization takes place, then it will form embryo, then it will form a complete organism. This is a step-by-step process. Okay, so this is two types of a reproduction, asexual and sexual reproduction. So detailed study we will do in our next part of this video, of this lesson. So student, that's it for today's video. I hope you all have understood. Next part we will do in next session. Thank you.